Hello and welcome to today's podcast. Welcome back to Sparks the Conversation. Hope you're well. I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. So, welcome back to today's episode. And today's episode, like the last episode, is going to be me rambling about a topic that I'm passionate about, or something that I've been thinking about in my endless walks around the streets in my local area. So, today's episode is going to be about observations from coaching hundreds of people during 2021 and the ways that you can apply these coaching observations that I've made in 2022. I know we're a little bit into 2022 now. Wherever you're listening, it's the end of February where I'm recording this, but this is mostly the time when most people have probably dropped off of their New Year's resolutions, or they're really struggling to kind of maintain them moving forward. So these are some of my observations. Well, these are 10 of the main ones that I'm going to kind of talk about today, so that you can use them, think about them, and really kind of implement them into your fitness and nutrition, your lifestyle, so that you can get the best out of whatever you're trying to achieve in the gym. So, the point number 1 out of 10 is to be completely honest with yourself, with your coach, with whatever you're trying to do. Very often it's the thing that most people kind of skirt around, but it's one of the biggest things that's holding them back. If you're not completely honest with what you're doing, what you want to achieve, where you're at, or what level you're willing to commit to something, that level of dishonesty is going to set yourself up for failure. You're going to go into something thinking, right, I can do this, or right, sometimes I can't do this, and you're going to set yourself up for failure, which in the long run is never going to be a long-term strategy for you actually achieving whatever you want to achieve in terms of fitness. Because let's be honest, anything good normally doesn't happen very quick. So be very honest with yourself at the start and throughout the process, and this will really help you kind of fine-tune your details and your system so that you can develop that system to get you to the result quicker. Point number 2 is don't leave anything to chance. And lots of people just hope they get in the best shape of their lives by going to the gym. And to me, that's kind of leaving it by chance. Like, you don't just get into great shape. Like, not many people walk around very lean, and there's a reason for that, because they're leaving it to chance, and chance very often doesn't actually want you to get in the best shape you can. So what you need to do here is be deliberate and leave very little to chance. So take action and make sure you're putting things in place that you can reduce the kind of risk or reduce the variability in what you're trying to achieve. Because if you plan and if you put things in place accordingly, you know that you are doing something, or you're doing things to get you to that end goal. If you're just leaving them to chance, very quickly you'll get disheartened, and very quickly you'll realise that things just don't happen by chance. And that's no one who ever got a good physique or ever kind of became a good athlete just happened to do it. Yes, talent comes into it, but you need to actually put in the work as well. Next one, number 3, is that food quality matters. And I know this is not necessarily kind of one to do with motivation or mindset, but food quality does matter. And I completely understand, okay, in physique development at some points, like, food quality or micronutrition might have to take a bit of a backseat, but for most people, for general population, if you're just trying to lose a few pounds, like, you want to be the healthiest few pounds lighter than you can be, than you've ever been, sorry. And the way to do this is nailing your micronutrition. And too many people just care about calories. Too many people just care about their total calories and don't actually care what content or what comes within those calories that they eat, and they wonder why they get ill, wonder why they're not performing that well. And you've got to remember, micronutrition is not only essential for our immune system, but it's essential for every part of our cells, every part of our body. So if we can optimize that, you really put yourself in a good place to grow muscle, lose fat, whatever you're trying to achieve. Point number 4, you should always be trying to reverse engineer what you're trying to succeed. And by this I mean work backwards from the thing that you want to do. So for example, if you want to get on stage in 2 years' time, work backwards from that. Split that period, that really long chunk of time, which is a really big goal, into shorter, more actionable phases that you can tick off along the way. The reason for this is, 1, it increases the kind of it increases the ability of one to be able to, 1, execute the plan because you're ticking things off frequently, and 2, it almost, what it does, it just sets out and plans everything so that everything is accounted for. And this links back to number 2, don't leave anything by chance. Reverse engineer your success instead of just expecting your success to happen. Point number 5, and this is a nice and short one, like shortcuts do not work in fitness. Like, they just don't work. If you're trying to lose fat, there is no shortcut there. If you're trying to grow muscle, there definitely is no shortcut there. If you think that doing this or taking that or dropping my calories by this much is that shortcut, you're going to be you're going to learn the hard way there. Like, it's hard work most of the time. It's not a simple case of, right, let's do this and this is the shortcut that's going to get us there. Get yourself motivated through education and autonomy. If you've listened to my motivation podcast where I do a deep dive into motivation, education and autonomy seem to be one of the leading factors in a client or a sports person's ability to remain motivated. Autonomy is a big one, but within that we need to entwine that discipline is something to do with autonomy. We need to make sure that they go hand in hand. And by autonomy, we mean the power to be able to make decisions yourself about your future, about your goals, about what you're doing. You're not just kind of following a plan and being a robot. Yes, there will be a time where you become a robot, but you need to be involved in the decision-making process so that you feel like you are part of something. Point number 8, make sure you review your progress, okay? A lot of the time, especially in gaining phases for natural guys and assisted guys for that matter, if you're not reviewing your progress, you very soon, well, I didn't, but a lot of people very soon lose sight of what they're trying to do. They don't necessarily see the tangible results of their effort. And what you can't see there is you could be missing loads of progress that you've made. And then you lose motivation, you lose kind of discipline around those areas. So make sure you're reviewing your progress. Don't just spin your wheels without understanding if you are making that progress in the right areas, because there's no point if you need to get on stage in a year and you've not grown the areas that you need to develop, and not being able to kind of look back on that and review it across the period that you're trying to grow that muscle. And this links to kind of goal setting, because there's no point of having these goals if you're not just reviewing them. A goal without a review is literally just a sentence, in my opinion. So yes, and what you can do here is you can think like, right, I've made good progress here. Let's do it again. What made me make progress? Oh, I know this because I reviewed it. And likewise, if you haven't made progress, you can think, why haven't I made progress? Okay, let's change X, Y, and Z. Point number 9, be open-minded. And this is something that I think is massive in the industry. Like, so many people just stay in their same little echo chamber. They don't acknowledge anything else. They just literally do this every day in, day out. They don't kind of look outside of the box. And what we need to think here is that black box thinking, as in if we remain within the same thought process all the time, we're just limiting our growth. Yes, you don't have to agree with everything. Like, you don't have to agree with everything, but it puts you in a more educated position and a more autonomous position and a more empowered position to be able to make decisions then if you have the full picture. Just understanding one side of an argument doesn't work, because it's not an argument then, is it? Because arguments normally means that someone's disagreeing or there's two sides of an argument. So be open-minded, look at new exercises, look at new ways of training, experiment a little bit within the parameters of you still making success, just like I am at the moment. Like, I'm not necessarily the biggest advocate of reps in reserve or that approach to training, and I'm still not completely sold on it, but I'm giving it a go and then I'll kind of see how I feel. Because you've got to remember, if I don't necessarily agree with reps and reserve training, that doesn't mean that it doesn't work for my clients. But who am I to program it for a client if I haven't had any experience of doing it myself? Of course, I could know the nuts and bolts of it because it's an academic theory, but I think in the trenches experience of these things really does help. So that's why I'm in this phase at the moment, learning about it, experiencing it, so I can apply those lived experiences to my clients and get them the best results. Sorry, losing my voice more and more across the day. So, point number 10, keep it simple, stupid. The KISS principle. Not you, but it's a phrase, okay? So, it's very simple, this physique development world. Like, I know I've spoken about a few complex things up there, but it's very simple. It doesn't have to be this kind of big shit show of science. It can be as simple as you want. What you need to find there is a vessel to kind of make it as simple as you want. Yes, some people and some clients will want all of the information, all of the science, all of the ins and outs. Others won't. Others just want a meal plan and they want the result. And keep it simple, stupid, but keep it simple, stupid relative to what you want out of the coaching experience and what you want out of your fitness journey. If you really want to develop yourself within the fitness area and the fitness niche, keep it simple, stupid, but get involved. If you just want the outcome, if you just want to get shredded, you just want to grow muscle, just keep it simple. Just do what you're told, but just try and be a little bit involved in it. So those are my kind of 10 coaching observations from 2021. I know I'm a bit late to the party in terms of releasing these, but I hope they give you some value on how you can improve your physique development over the next few months. So I'm going to go, but I'm going to leave you to look up here for my most recent videos, my podcast, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please give me a review. It really does help the podcast grow. And if you listen to it, share it on your social media. I'd be very much appreciated. Appreciated or appreciative? It would be very much appreciated. But I'm going to go before I lose my voice. And thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next podcast.